Hello and welcome to the next R2D2 video where we're only going to be looking at issue 64 this time. There's a reason for this. That is because issue 65 is going to come out, or has come out, at the time where I'm preparing for the wedding, and I won't have time to film issue 65 as well, but I didn't want there to be an R2D2 gap during the time of the wedding, which is today. You are watching this on my wedding day, so I'm off somewhere getting married. But you're watching this. I didn't want there to be an R2D2 gap for this weekend and next weekend. And as I pick up R2D2 parts weekly, that's why I don't have a back catalogue of stuff to go into like I do with the Thunderbird 2 and the DeLorean. Those videos will be continuing throughout this next week and next weekend. I have filmed them all and I'm editing them together frantically right now, so you don't have any gap in videos while I'm off getting married, because I thought that would be the best way to do it. But sadly I can't do that with R2D2 because I do pick it up weekly, and of course it was Easter bank holiday on Monday, so there's a chance that the magazine would have been delayed anyway. So I'm just going to do one issue this time, issue 64, and then do issue 65, 66 and 67 next time. But issue 64 is a big enough issue on its own to warrant its own video, because there is a lot to do around the dome. We are putting the dome, starting to put the dome together. We are going back to parts that we got back in issue 1 even, all the lights and all the different kind of things that we have built up of the dome, and we're starting to put them together during issue 64. So to start off with, if you have put the outer dome onto your framework, take it off so that you have the framework of the dome loose like this. Okay, now what you'll need to do is you'll need to find the edge here with the hinge kind of. So there's a black rim all the way around, but this part, this has a cutout part there. There's no black. This is where we're going to attach the hinge that comes in this issue to release the lightsaber. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get the part that comes in issue 64, which is this nice blue dome part, and also the hinge. Now we got a hinge way back in an early issue, and I don't remember if it was the hinge for this part or another part. They could be replacing it, thinking that people may have misplaced it. I haven't. I just can't be bothered to look for it, but they may be supplying a new one and that hinge is for a different thing. I just don't know. But what you need to do is you need to attach it so that it looks like this when it's all done. And to do that, if I zoom in, you need to attach one of these long screws into it. So just thread this through the hole there, there, and then just screw it in. Hopefully it will take. Maybe the holes aren't lined up. Should be all lined up. Let's try again. Is that going down? Yes it is. Yes it is. Okay. There we go. So that is the hinge all attached onto the flap for the lightsaber part. So if we bring back the framework here and we just place that there, you see there's a little tab to have in place. We just put that there, very similar to what we see in the DeLorean. And then we attach it with, I believe, these black screws. But once again, all of the screws came in one issue for everything we have to do in issue 64. So I could be doing this completely wrong. Don't have a go at me. If I am, I don't care, as long as it goes in. And that goes in quite well, which is good. So I think that is right. And then just do the other one. The instruction we have is 2.5 times 4mm screws, which I believe these to be. Actually, that is quite secure, which is good. Is there much sticking out the bottom? There's a fair bit sticking out the bottom, so they might be wrong, but Oh, and it is loose. I don't want a rattly hinge. Okay, I'm just going to go off camera and test all these screws out to make sure I get the right ones. Be right back. Okay, that took me about half hour to do because I was trying every screw that's supplied in this issue, and the screws that attach the flap weren't even supplied in this issue. Oh my god. So annoying. So annoying. Breathe. Move on. This is R2D2's dome. This is a happy occasion, but honestly, this screw thing is really doing my head in. Anyway, okay, right. So the next thing we need to do is go back and get this part. Oh, sorry, this now is attached and it's flapping. It's wunderbar. We now need to get this bit and open it up. And we need these black parts off the sprue. So just turn them like that. Da 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 da, like that. So you have all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them out. Like that. Keep these to one side, even though it tells you to get them off then. Keep them to one side because we don't need them just yet. What we do need now is all the parts that we have had done throughout the ages of R2D2. So the first part you'll need to get is this part, which we got way back in stage 18 or issue 18. This is the microphone, believe it or not. I didn't realize that. And it has this black and white wire connector here. What you need to do is you need to thread it through the framework. So it pops out. No, not there. Where does it pop out? Yeah, no, that is right. And you don't thread it through. You thread the wire through the framework like that. So it's just resting on there like that. Now, what you need to do is you need to get the outer dome back, and we need to place it over the top of the framework. And so we just get it and we just thread it through so that the microphone goes through this hole here. Like that, and then this flap will all line up hopefully like that, and it'll all slide into place. Oh, nearly. Come on, click, connect. Oh, this is I don't want to damage any part of the R2D2 dome, not now. I don't have any more Toby faces left to show, but I'm really feeling the Toby face conundrum right now. Maybe that's not helping, this little bit sticking out. Okay. Microphone through. Oh. Hey, that went a lot smoother than last time, so just need to make sure that that top is threaded through. It's not wanting to. Come on. Okay. This is fine. It's all fine. It's all good. I just need that key to click in to the slot there. That's all I need to do. That's all that needs to happen, Mr. Dome. I'm just going to do this off camera. Be right back. And it may take some doing, but eventually it will go on like that. I had a problem right on this corner here. The flap wouldn't open, and even now it's still a little bit stiff. But I'm sure when it's all aligned up, see, it just disappears straight back in. So I'm sure when it's all connected to the framework properly, there won't be an issue. But as long as you make sure you get the key right, and the key push through, and you do this and push that through, then that opens up. And when it's all secure, that will open up fully. So for now, just leave it with the flap open. And we turn it over and we see the interior. Yes, I tacked mine with duct tape because I was worried about stuff falling out. So that is why it's all brown in there. Anyway, sorry, before you turn it over, the next thing you need to do is you need to get this part here and thread it at the top. I believe we did this at the end of the last video, but that is the time you put that in now, just in there like that. And then you flip it over, and you'll see the underside all the way down there. That is where we are playing with. That is what we're playing with now, that underside. And then we bring back these black parts here. So these are meant to help the screws go in. Yeah, okay. So these have two sides. They have that side with a smaller hole and this side with a bigger hole. You just push it so that the bigger hole side sticks out. You push it in, it does fit in rather well. Just push that one in there as well. Now there's only 5 because you don't attach one to that top one there where I'm pointing with my middle finger. Just there, and there, and move this wire out the way for the last one in there, like that. Now what you do is you get some of the flanged screws, the ones with the circle around it, and you attach them into the black hole area. And that is them all in, and that means that the outer frame is now attached, the outer dome, sorry, is now attached to the dome, at least at the top, which means that this should not technically be any more issue, but it is. That is not the smoothest flap opening I would like at all. And it doesn't really open all that far. So that could pose a bit of a problem for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you are having similar problems, and what you have done to resolve them. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully when everything is all in properly, that won't be so much of an issue. But for now, it's a very, very, very tight flap. So if I just push that there, I can't see the mechanism of the lightsaber pushing it to the way it should be. We will see. We will see when we install that part. Let me know in the comments down below if you've had issues with that flap. But for now, because I don't know any different, I am going to continue. I am aware that that may be... I mean, I just realised actually that part of the problem may be the fact that this one isn't pushing through. See, there's a little gap there. That frame is not all the way around as it should be. So I might actually have to unscrew that to move that frame apart, because I think that's pushing this one out, and those millimeters are affecting that flap. So I'm just going to go and do that now. Okay, I've been fighting with this too long now. My hinge still doesn't open really. It still gets caught on this corner here. And then you move it just millimeters and it opens like that. So I hope that nature will take its course, gravity will take its course even, and the dome will just slide down those few millimeters over the next few weeks so that that hinge does work correctly. I've unscrewed it and re-screwed it, and it's just slightly off. You can see there, if I just zoom in, there's something about these screws not tightening properly that it just wobbles. It just wobbles like that, which causes issues. So I just need to make sure that I got it straight to show off that lightsaber effect. But it won't matter so much because you know, the popping up lightsaber is not something that I'll be doing a lot. I'll be doing to show it off, like I say, but I won't be doing it often, so it doesn't really bother me. And there's loads of other cool stuff to do on this issue that I want to get into, so I'm just going to leave that for now. If worse comes to the worst, I can just unscrew it all and redo it. Right, anyway, so we're moving on now to these parts we got in the last video. What you need to do is just take them off the sprue like this, and they are just plastic screws. To show you what they look like, just plastic screws here. And the reason that they're plastic and not metal is because these are going to be pushing out the frames. So it isn't just the sticky tape, like I said before, the sticky tape even, that's pushing these frames out. We will be screwing these screws just to push those frames, because you can see that one's already coming loose there, and this one, if I push, it wobbles. So that is what these are for. And to screw all of them in, we'll be using this Allen key, which is supplied in this issue, in issue 64. And you will be putting the screws onto the long end so that you can get into those hard to reach places. Actually, I just remembered something. Speaking of hard to reach places, on this top part here, you saw me screw down the screws into the black molds, but there is one screw here, this one here, that doesn't have a black part, and that is the part that actually screws it to the framework. It is a shorter flange screw, so make sure you use the shorter one for that. But that is how it attaches to the framework, okay? Right, I think I've got that part really out the way now. Now let's focus on these plastic screw parts. So these screws, if I get it right, are for... just angle the camera up a bit, sorry. A bit more. Right. Okay, they are for this hole here, this hole there, this hole, and these two holes here, which is a good job because this part is falling out. I've just kept the paper in there as a little temporary thing just to hold everything in place. But this is where we're going to be screwing them in. I'll just show you one and then I'll speed it up. So you put it onto the long end of the Allen key like that. And you just push it in and easier said than done. And just turn it like that. So it goes in. So I'm just going to start speeding up the video now. And slow it down again because this is going to take a while because it is quite hard to use the Allen key, not the screwdriver. So I'm just going to do this off camera and then I'll be right back with you. And here we go. You see that they are in there like that. I've done them quite loosely because I've only got a limited amount of time to film this. So I'll turn that up later. But yeah, that is how they go in. And you now see that that panel is really secure. There's next to no wobbling apart from that one which I haven't actually tightened yet. So yeah, that's really good because I was worried about how they were going to do that to keep these panels all in line. But that is how they're doing it, which is pretty cool. Right, now on to the electronics that we add to the dome in this video. The first one will go here, and it is the red and blue light. So let's just get a good angle on this here so you see my working. Okay, right, so what you need to do, the first thing you need to do, it's not here at all obviously because that's the lens light. It's this one here, the red and blue light. You need to get this part which we got back in issue 1 with the honeycomb effect, and there's a little tab just there you can just make out, and there's a little nick in this cover piece, and you just push it in there so that the tab and the nick line up like that. Okay, you then get the red and blue light. I had to test it again to make sure which one was which because you don't want the green and orange light on this one, you want the red and blue. And then you just line it up with the peg holes there and screw it down. So I'm going to put that screw in first just to see if that helps line everything up. It does a little bit actually. Oops. Maybe not. Hold on. It shouldn't be this fiddly, but it is purely because of the space that we have to do all this, which isn't much at all. Okay, so in you go. I think that's going in there. Yes. That is going in. Maybe I should have done that bottom one first. I'm sorry about the angle. It doesn't really lend itself to good footage. Doesn't help that that screw isn't in either. Okay, I am going to do this off camera because this is just a bit of a mess. Be right back. Okay, because the angles are so bad, I think in future what I'm going to do is show you what part goes where, go off camera to do it, and then show you what it looks like afterwards. So that is that part all in there. From the back and from the front, it looks like this. And I will show it off with lights at the end of this video, time permitting. Oh, actually, I do have a loose panel there. That might be why the screws aren't wanting to go in as much. Yeah, okay. I was saying that does that one push that panel? I don't know. But just be wary of loose panels, because that might affect the work. Like that. Okay, but moving on, we'll move on to the next part now, which is this part here with these indicators here, and it goes right next to the part we just did. So you want the side with the wire coming off, just to on this side, and that pushes in there like that, does it? Yeah, okay, there we go. It goes right in there like that, and then you screw it down with those two screw holes there. Okay, that's where you screw it down, so I'm just going to go off camera and do that now. And this is what it looks like on the outside. So we have the coloured one there, and then this readout here, which is very cool. The next item we're going to be installing goes here. So we just flip it around, move the wire out the way, and then line up the silver ridged part and push it through the hole, like so. And there we go. Is that not, why is that not going in? Am I missing a part? Okay, let's try this again. I think I'm putting it in the wrong way around. I am. Okay, so you just push it through there. There we go. And it leaves those two holes there to screw the screws in. I might try and do this one on camera, actually. I've got a good feeling about this, I think, because it... There we go. You get to see something on camera. That's good. That's good. Okay, this one is well designed. And just go in there like that. Perfect. That's nice and secure. And it looks like that. Now I have kind of glue residue from when I was trying to stick this panel in here. So this one is a little wrecked. It's a good job it's around the back, but I'm pretty sure that I can, if I'm careful, get that glue off. But a bit of weathering on R2D2 doesn't really matter. It's just a bit of a pain, really. And then right next to that part, we have this hole here. And that is for this part, a lens. So you see there's a little kind of gap. You can't see because the angle's all off. But you see there's a little kind of gap just there for where this tab will fit in. Like that, and then you just screw it into that hole there and that hole there. I'm going to try and do this on camera again, seeing as it is the last part that we're doing in this video. So let's just get that in there. All you can see is my hand, sorry. But yeah, that's one in. It might be a successful end, this video. Yeah, because that goes in really easy as well. Easily, I should say. Terrible English. Let's zoom out a little bit so you don't get seasick. Make sure that one's in nice and tight. Yep, perfect. And then that is what that looks like round that way. Nice see-through lens there, and we got that part there. Swing it around. That's going to be for the red and orange one, which we'll put in at a later date. Oops. And then swing it around to the front, and we have a lens here, that there, and that there. So what I'm going to do now is just test the lighting and show you what it all looks like. Okay, so the most complicated, because the wire is so small, is this one. So this can be the first one. So we just plug that in there and then angle it and press the button. Nothing happens. Okay. Oh, it's because the batteries come out. Let me just put this battery back in. And then turn it on, and then press the button. Yeah! Awesome. Loving that. 2 different settings to make it look like it fluxes. Very cool. So let's take that wire out. Oh. Okay, and let's put the red and blue wire in. Flip it around and test the button. Yeah. Yeah. A bit of light bleeding through that moving panel, but I'll sort that out at a later date. That is very cool. Got purple in the middle there, blue, red. Nice. All right. Next, take that out there. And the last one for this video, hope it works, is this one round the back here with the gluey panel, and test it. Bonk. Yeah, they all work. And again, you got that flickering effect with the both buttons there, which is awesome. So a nice end to this video, even though, whoops, even though I nearly lost my camera just there, and even though it has been a little bit messy, a really good end. And just if you want to, let's just put this piece on there so you get an idea of what R2D2 will look like with that piece on there as well. Very cool. Looking forward to doing more of the Dome next time. So like I say, next time we'll be looking at 3 issues, and that should be in 2 weeks' time. Married now, wedding now, and then honeymoon. Yeah, so it should be in 2 weeks' time. I'm doing these in the past, and it's very confusing thinking about the future. But yes, in 2 weeks' time, we'll come back to the Dome, and we'll do some more of the Dome. I hope you join me for that. You'll be noticing that I'll have a wedding band next time, which is very cool. Yeah, so I hope you have a fantastic couple of weeks, and I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye. I just want to thank my patrons John Medney, Jay Falschenbauer, Tom Butcher, Jerry Wilson, Omar Khan, Gary Lewis, Simon Edwards, John Dunseith, Glenn Philo, Andrew Woods, Fabio Gugel, Simon Dunn, Brick Bardo, Thomas Parker, David Cunningham, Mark Frampton, Louis Pays, Terry Schwanditz, Donovan Asmawi Jaja, James Brown Jr., The Mitatonic University Podcast, Dave Westbury, Michael Chambers, Marcus Simon, Vince Steele, Savigny Barrett, and Flash. Without you guys, this video would not have been possible and this channel would be dead, so thank you very much.